In the kingdom of Brim, where shadows crawl across ancient stones, a young warrior named Elara was born under the blood moon. Her destiny was forged in fire to protect the realm from the creeping darkness that had awoken once again. Clad in silver armor that shimmered like moonlight, Elara raced across the rooftops of Brim, her twin blades glowing with ancient runes. The sky above rumbled, heavy with storm and magic, as if the world itself watched her run. Every rooftop leap felt like defying gravity, and every step carried the weight of her ancestors. She wasn't fleeing danger, she was charging into the heart of it. Somewhere ahead, fate awaited her, cloaked in shadow. Beneath her, the streets twisted like a maze, crawling with violet-skinned beasts that reeked of rot and magic. Their glowing eyes locked onto her, and with guttural roars, they leapt. But Elara was faster. She spun midair, blades slicing through them like threads of smoke. Sparks flew, shadows fell, her breath was steady, her eyes focused. She wasn't just fighting for survival, she was fighting for everyone who had already fallen. Legends told of a time when Brim was protected by sky-born sentinels, beasts of light and flame. Now, only their bones remained, scattered across rooftops and buried under rubble. Elara ran past their remains, drawing strength from their silent memory. Each enemy she struck down was a step closer to restoring that ancient power. Somewhere deep within, a flame stirred. She wasn't alone in this. A sudden roar echoed from the left. A massive brute, twice her size, charged forward, wielding a molten axe. Elara didn't hesitate. She slid beneath its swing, sparks flaring, then rose with a vicious upward slash. The creature shrieked and vanished in purple smoke. The path behind her crumbled, but she kept moving. No time to pause, no time to fear. The deeper she ran, the darker the world became, and the brighter she had to burn. Elara's blades pulsed with heat, reacting to the dark magic around her. She felt its weight press against her skin, its whispers claw at her mind. But she pushed forward. Her training had taught her how to fight. But her heart had taught her why. For every child hiding in ruined temples, for every elder who still believed in the old prophecies, she would not fall. Not today, not while breath filled her lungs and fire danced in her blood. Up ahead, the rooftops narrowed into a single bridge of stone suspended over a chasm. The wind howled through it like a warning. Elara didn't slow. She sprinted across the ledge, monsters lunging at her from both sides. She danced between them, blades flashing like lightning. One wrong step, and she would fall. But fear had no place in her heart, only purpose, only fire. The bridge collapsed behind her, but she had already leapt forward. Up ahead, the rooftops narrowed into a single bridge of stone suspended over a chasm. The wind howled through it like a warning. Elara didn't slow. She sprinted across the ledge, monsters lunging at her from both sides. She danced between them, blades flashing like lightning. One wrong step, and she would fall. But fear had no place in her heart, only purpose, only fire. The bridge collapsed behind her, but she had already leapt forward. She landed hard in a forgotten courtyard, its stones cracked and glowing faintly blue, remnants of ancient magic. A memory stirred. Her mother's voice, whispering an old prophecy. When darkness returns, so too shall the blade of the brave. Was she that blade? Could she be? She didn't know, but her steps didn't falter. The monsters smelled her doubt, but they would choke on her strength. A massive gate loomed ahead, half buried in roots and shadows. Elara kicked it open, revealing a hidden passage lit by flickering torches. The air was thick with decay, but she pressed on. In the shadows, creatures hissed, twisted by curses. She cut them down, one after another. Her arms ached, her chest burned, but her spirit, unbroken. Every swing brought her closer to the truth, to the heart of the darkness she had to face. Suddenly, the path opened into a wide chamber, a temple long abandoned. In the center, a dark crystal pulse like a heartbeat. Elara stepped closer, blades drawn, voices filled the air, whispering her name. The crystal recognized her. It feared her. She wasn't just a warrior now, she was a reckoning. With one powerful strike, she shattered the stone. Light exploded outward, burning away the dark, but it was only the beginning. The explosion hurled Elara backward. She hit the ground hard, rolling through dust and shattered stone. But when she rose, the crystal was gone, and so was the light. From the far end of the temple, something stirred. A low growl echoed through the silence. Out of the darkness stepped a new enemy, cloaked in black armor, eyes glowing red. Not a monster, a man, a shadow knight, and he knew her name. You should have stayed hidden, the knight snarled, drawing a jagged blade pulsing with dark energy. Elara tightened her grip. I don't hide, she replied, her voice steady. They clashed. Steel screamed against steel, sparks lighting the gloom. He was stronger, he was faster, but Elara was burning with something he lacked, hope. She fought not for herself, but for the light behind her. That made all the difference. The duel raged across the temple floor, pillars crumbled, statues shattered. Each blow pushed her closer to the edge, but she refused to fall. She remembered her father's last words, bravery is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite it, with a cry that shook the chamber. Elara struck, not with strength, but with heart. Her blade found its mark, the knight staggered, then collapsed into dust. Breathing hard, Elara stood alone in the silence. Her armor cracked, her blades chipped, but she was alive and victorious. The shattered crystal began to glow, not dark, but golden. Light filled the chamber, lifting the weight from her shoulders. She had passed the trial, but far away, deeper in the realm, a darker force stirred. This battle was won, but the true war had just begun, and Elara would be ready. Outside the temple, the skies had changed. Where once storm clouds loomed, golden rays now pierced through. But Elara knew peace wouldn't last. The crystal had only been a fragment of something greater. In the distance, a tower of obsidian rose from the earth, wrapped in black flame. That was her next destination. With a final glance at the fading temple, she tightened her grip on her blades and began to run once more. As she sprinted through the ruined city, new enemies emerged, leaner, faster, cloaked in ash. They moved like shadows, striking from walls and rooftops. Elara flowed like water between them, blades flashing, feet never stopping. Her every motion was a blend of instinct and memory. She had become more than a warrior now. She was legend in motion, a ghost to her enemies, a promise to her people. A sudden quake split the ground ahead. Lava surged from the cracks, lighting her path in red. She leapt from rock to rock, dodging molten bursts and crumbling debris. Above, a flying beast circled, a creature with burning wings and jagged teeth. It dove toward her, shrieking. Elara leapt high, meeting it midair with a scream of steel. They collided like thunder, and only one fell back to earth. It wasn't her. Landing with a roll, Elara didn't pause. Her armor smoked, her hair wild with ash, but her eyes burned brighter than ever. Each victory carved new fire into her soul. She didn't just survive, she inspired. Behind her, whispers began to rise through the cities of a girl with silver swords who danced through monsters like wind, who fought the darkness and didn't flinch. Hope had a name again, Elara. The road ahead narrowed into a forest of obsidian trees, black trunks twisted like claws, glowing faintly with cursed runes. Elara stepped inside without hesitation. Every sound was muffled, every breath heavy. Whispers curled around her ears, trying to turn her back. But she walked on, blades raised, mind clear. Fear belonged to those who stopped. She was not one of them. In this cursed forest, she was the light. From the shadows, the forest guardians emerged, tall creatures with faces like masks and limbs like blades. They didn't speak. They only attacked, Alara weaved between them, striking fast and low, her blades singing with every hit. The forest screamed, blood and shadow flew. And still she moved forward, carving a path not just through the trees, but through the very curse choking the land. Her will was stronger than their silence. At the heart of the forest stood an altar, covered in vines and bone. A single rune glowed on its surface. Alara stepped closer. The air turned cold. Her breath fogged, then a pulse. The rune flashed, and a memory struck her chest like lightning. Her village in flames, her mother falling, the voice that had whispered her destiny. This place was the beginning of the curse, and she was its end. She placed her hand on the altar. The ground trembled. Runes flared across the trees, and a deafening shriek split the air. From above, a massive shadow descended, the true guardian of the forest, a creature of nightmares and rage. Its eyes locked onto Alara, but she didn't flinch. She lifted her blades, standing tall. "Come then," she whispered. "Let's finish what you started." The beast roared and charged.